Alrighty. Uh, Second week of Edu Night. It is the NA time zone. And first week went pretty good. I'm going to be honest. It was a lot of fun. Watched some replays. And some technical difficulties, but I think we got them dealt with. I think the mic is outputting to both earphones now. That was an issue with my sound interface. You had to put it through both lines. Moving on from that, we're going to look to see what our first replay of the night is. It's going to be Chaz. Chaz has a lot of replays tonight.
I figured that there was nobody else submitting them, so I had to.
You might as well. I lost 2 to 3 Marines. Oh wait, I didn't build Marines from 525 to 603. I should have X amount of Marines. Don't know what to do with the 5 mines instead of chilling them in the middle of the map. I lost 2 to 3 minutes running around the map uselessly at 8 to 10 minutes instead of killing the 5th. Then dies top right before 2-2 completes. Where should my army be at 8 to 10 minutes? Possibly in multiple groups? Question mark. Or maybe these are different replays.
They're different replays.
Okay.
They're similarly disaster DPC losses, but they have slightly different flavors of badness.
I see. So we're going to go to the first one in 2000 atmospheres. This is the one where you had a bunch of mines, you didn't know what to do with them. That's okay. Alrighty. Got Buckethead going against Shiny. It's kind of, I guess Creep's kind of shiny if you turn up the graphics a little bit. GLHF gets thrown out there. Very cordial to begin. And just normal Reaper expand. Beautiful. Expanding with the barracks. If you are going to SCV Scout and TVZ, this is the scout to do. Good. I think a little nitpicky thing to do is you can sit outside his natural until his queen comes out to put down the tumor. And you can fuck with the tumor, and then you can check for the third base. It's not like a requirement that you do it like right now. Because like sometimes killing this tumor is actually kind of god tier. And it's not like you're going to die.
It depends on whether I need to do a macro cycle.
Yeah, I mean, around 240 you're putting down your CC. So, but yeah, for sure. You're still building that gas. I think we talked about that last week. The ones that delay your Hellions a lot.
I'm following the order so that I can check my timings against pros. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. But we did kind of talk about how you just died because you did that last week.
There's
and that your timings would be better if you did it the other way. Like, I mean, there's definitely a difference between following a build order because you saw somebody do it and just objectively knowing something's better, right?
The version I know of this does have the delayed gas, like Jehefe said.
Yeah, like I think even like the Hero Marine video that he made on this build does that too.
This is a clan build, but yeah.
Yeah.
He made out a mod.
I think the bigger problem is that I'm not building SCVs when I first of all, this is the barracks of shame right about here. want to watch it in its full glory, not build anything.
I'm
I was like trying to
actually.
figure out
I'm
what
not.
was going
I'm
on
not
here.
too worried
and
about
then-
that. I'm worried about these Hellions.
That's fair. I mean, I've already identified and been working on fixing the marine production issue, but I have no idea how to deal with the Hellion issue.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's painful. Hmm.
Like this all looks a lot better if there's just 13 Marines sitting on the natural depot.
Yeah. I do think there's also a lot to say about your Hellion count too. Like, with the timing in which you
Up to
built
6
your,
gun.
with the timing in which you built.
Get the macrocycles to build in 6.
Could you please let me speak? With the timing in which you were like swapping and building extra barracks, you started extra barracks at 4 minutes and 40. Right? Right around there. Right around 440. You could have 8 Hellions right now if you just delayed that gas slightly. You're just kind of missing 3 Hellions. And if you have those Hellions, it's like you can apply a lot more pressure with the Hellions. And if he ever does that counter thing and he doesn't have a high queen count, he just kind of loses all of his drones and you still hold in your main with 3 CCs. So it's kind of an unlosable spot from there. And then yeah, the marine count thing is valid. You definitely should have more marines. But you already knew that.
That's not why I uploaded the video. I mean, you uploaded the replay.
Huh. So you're definitely quite far behind now. And this is kind of what you're worried about now. Like, you can't really move on the map like this because this is very possible because you're behind. Like, he's already proven once that he's going to counter you. And he got a lot of damage pretty early on. So, like, there's a world where you just get punished really hard by that. Luckily, he just pressed the F2 key. And he's coming back here. But there is a world where he just sits here with the Baneling speed. And he trades very slowly here. He makes it so that you can't really hard engage. Because, like, versus this many Banelings, you can't really just walk up and, like, stim at him really, really aggressively. So, Banelings in this situation would be used as a way to buy time while he can counter your third. Or jump on your supply line. So, like, all of these Zerglings could actually just be in your third right now, and you would lose every worker. So
yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, like you can see why that works, yeah? From Zerg perspective, right?
Yeah.
And the line of logic that you would follow in terms of like why that can happen and why you might want to be a little bit more reserved with how many units you're bringing. Because you can still kind of do this. You can just like do a double medevac drop and go right here with that. And then you deny vision. And now it becomes a lot murkier waters for the Zerg because he doesn't know what's going to happen, per se. Like, he knows that there's a 16 Marine drop here, but he doesn't really know how many units are here. Oh, you get some pretty good Baneling hits. He let the trade go on really long, so which was really good. He just kind of let you sit here for a while and get a really good trade. Before this, you were down like 600 minerals, and now you're up 500 minerals in terms of trading. And like, honestly, like the econ advantage can be like in favor of Zerg as long as Terran's trading really well. So from this situation, you can definitely win this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, but
I
then that
start
happened.
asking you. Yeah, that's not ideal. I think I don't need to get advice from you about to not do that.
Yep. Yeah, Marines trade really well into Hydras. Yeah, like this didn't go too terrible. The only thing that's kind of sad here is that you just don't have your 9 Rex started, or not your 9 Rex, your 8 Rex. Because if you just like look back, pop down 3 barracks, and then go back to this, it's good. That's pretty much it.
Do you have a sort of? Do you have an intuition about when that should be generally?
Usually, I'm putting down my barracks at like 8:30ish. When I watch Klim's,
Is it-
oftentimes his is a little bit later, but he kind of forces out a lot of factory units that I don't. So
Yeah, this should
Like-
be to force a lot of factory units out built, but if I'm floating whatever that is, then I'm floating 3 racks with minerals.
yeah, like he definitely gets it like pretty close to like 9 minutes. But yeah, I
It's a
definitely
good time just after you put down your 4th CC.
yeah.
to just
Like
move
it's
very
basically anytime you have money after your 4th CC's done, and you have like
Yeah.
upgrades and units building. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So this is the part where there's like widow mines in the center right of the map, and I'm not sure whether that's good or not, but they kind of just stay there.
Yeah, I think there's a couple things you can do here. So like one, you can move them a little bit closer to be like in this area. Or two, you can pick up these 4 with a medevac and just go drop into mineral lane.
Right. So like I get the dropping in the mineral line, but like in terms of like moving them forward, like
Yeah.
there like a particular reason why like there and not like further forward than that.
Well, like if you go any further forward, you would get hit by the spore crawler. And if you put them like right here or like right here-ish, you block the units. Like if he's rallying everything here to attack this army and the mines are right here, that means the rally point from this hatchery gets killed.
Yeah. So the idea is like in the rallies, put out a vision of the spore. I guess is what I'm sort of hearing.
Yeah, I mean that's like incredibly specific to this game. Like you should be looking at like how to generalize that, right? Because it's going to be I want the widow mines to be in the spot where the units are going to be so that my widow mines kill them. And this is where the units are going to be.
Well, yeah, I mean, it would be a little bit boring to like look at the replay and see where the Zerg units are going and saying, "Hey, that's where the widow mine should have been."
I don't follow.
That would be a more general situation.
I don't understand what you're saying.
And like, if I wanted to know where the widow mines were, should have been, and I didn't want to ask you, I could look at the replay and see where the Zerg units are moving and point to that location.
Yeah, probably. But like usually when you have like widow mines in a spot like that, it's usually like next to a base or like a spot that you were attacking, yeah? So like usually units are going through that spot. It's a lot of overseers. Yeah. If the 8 racks kicked in at this point and you had like just like that out those extra 3 barracks of production here, you actually slaughter him really hard. Because you would have the concussive shell marauders and like
Do you ever stop making motivacs in this matchup? Like I
like
how do I put this? Like sometimes you keep making them, right? It, like like let's say
Yeah.
you make them, you have like 12 medevacs, right? And it's like, is it like you could probably get away with? I know
a couple libs.
one of our friends told me, yeah, like you make like a round of libs,
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
you just siege them on a base for like 2 bases or whatever, and it pisses them off. Like,
Yeah, I don't dislike that. Like, if you genuinely have enough neteffects, you might as well.
yeah, I mean, like not this number. I would make more, but I don't know.
It feels bad, man, to be losing a fight while floating that much, but you know, there's kind of
The game's super over.
we already went over why that happened.
Yeah, I mean, but the state, like, you can still win the game. Like, you're trading really well, and you have better upgrades, I think. You had better upgrades for a while. I think his is a little bit ahead now, but yeah, it's kind of funny. He has all these bases. He's like, oh, I want to play like a high level Zerg, and then he doesn't build the drones for the bases. Like he's got like 5 there, 11 there, none here. So he doesn't really have that much economy. In TVZ, there's a lot of like security theater, I guess is a term for it, where it's like the Zerg has what appears to be so much stuff, and there's a lot of creep, and it's really scary, and he has all these bases. But like if you actually look at it and like you see his bases, it's like, oh, he has no drones at these bases. He's not mining. Yeah, you just kind of punted right here, to be honest. You just didn't chill for a second.
Like, is this just a little bit too aggro?
It's way too aggro. You already killed the base, and like you're just running right here without like your whole army. Like you're trading like with a little bit at a time, I feel like. Yeah, like you have just the Marines.
Sorry.
Like you're fighting with just 16 Marines here and the 2 tanks, and then you have like the other tank back here, and then you're missing all of these units. Like if you kill a base, like in super like low econ situations, you got to look at it in terms of like what fight am I going to win. And like this is probably the least likely fight to win, because it's like it's such an open corridor. He has creep all over it. There's no easy way to approach it.
Yeah.
Like if he really wanted to, he could just split his army in half and go from here and from here, and then he would just surround you, and it would go even more effective than this. It's like the game's over here. I'm curious. You have a lot of energy. Like you should be dropping mules, I feel like. Yeah, you kill all of that. That was like super good for you. You have the tank on the high ground deal with this. And then all you have to do is just drop your 4 mules and start mining. 5 mules. If you have all 5 of those mules rolling, like it's actually pretty good. And like if it's too hard to push in here, or it feels too hard, like at a certain point it's just intuition. You know that it's probably too hard to do that, and you don't have a lot of units. Then you probably look towards rotating towards this side. Like a big part of TVZ eventually becomes, I can kill this extremity, I can kill this extremity, but this is too much and this is too much to take on. So it becomes a game of whack-a-mole.
This is kind of like feels like a dumb question to say, but why is killing the base at the far right easier than killing the base like right above you on the screen right now?
This base? Well, it's because I said before, he can like, it's like super duper easy for him to surround you here. But because he can go from here and he can go from here, and that's like really easily available to him. And he already has a ton of creep here. But if you're sitting right here, he may have that, but it's nowhere near as good as this angle is.
Okay.
It's more or less like he's coming from the same spot, and like this is a really strong little nook here. It's not quite as strong, and it's also like if you have your tanks here and your Marines are all right there, it's a lot of the units will end up being a lot more disjointed, just with how this is set up. It's hard to describe, but like It's very common when I play on this map that like a Zerg player will like miss time for some reason because this side's so much longer than this side. Like they'll have units here and then they'll have units there that they split off and then they'll F2 a move and then they're like, oh, this side fought the whole time and then this showed up. That's another like little small thing, but the biggest thing is going to be the creep here.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, you really should fix the early build order thing. That's like a pretty big mistake to be making consistently.
Working on it.
Glittering Ashes. Same Zerg, was this a series?
Yeah, I'm basically playing tournaments and playing bots to practice build order.
Skip to Hellion. I think you lost your Reaper too. This game, your barracks were better timed compared to the amount of Hellions you had. Yeah.
Did he stop at 4 Hellions?
It would have been I think it would have been 6, yeah.
It should be 6, like if you do it properly, which I don't, you know.
Yeah, it looked like he was going for 6. I think it ended up being 5, is what it was. So I think a question to ask yourself is, yes, you're following a build order, and yes, you've seen Clem build the second factory really fast. But look how big this fucking map is. Like, oh my god. Look at this monster. I think it's
Yeah,
it's not a terrible idea to think about getting a faster fourth base comparatively, just because of how big the map is. Building the factory faster, what that provides you is gonna be more units that attack. But the map's so big anyways. It's more than likely you're not gonna do a lot.
yeah.
Unless you have like some pre-set up aggression that you like to do consistently that you can execute. I have seen times where Clem does like really cool aggressions on this map, and he had a really good setup for it. Like he had 2 Banshees here, he had his Marine Hellion poke here, but like you can do that even without building that second factory. So that's something that may be food for thought on this map, because it's so big you can get away with the free expansion pretty easily. And your aggression may get shut down anyways.
For the option.
You're floating a lot of gas.
That is, I'm pretty sure bad macro, but I didn't super
Yeah.
go into why that's happened.
You don't need those gases.
I think if you're playing the mines here, and it's like mines only, you'll only see 5th gas. Clem streamed today his EPT Cup, and he was playing against Rainer a ton. I was going through it because I know that you like Clem a lot, and you've been watching a lot of his games, and I wanted to have a little bit more of an idea of what you were seeing. And I actually do see him build a lot of 5th gas, and I actually do see him build like singular tanks sometimes too, or like sometimes 2 tanks. He sometimes does 2 tank timing too.
Yeah, Clem has
Every-
Clem has a
every-
much better variety of builds. This is probably like his most eco-focused build of all of the builds that he does ever.
I think, well, he just, at a certain point, TVZ, for at that high of a level, is just, I'm going to throw a dart at the dartboard of builds, and I'm going to execute them all really well, and I just want to hit them with timings that hit at slightly different timings. So, like, sometimes it's this tank timing, sometimes it's a slightly faster Hellion Marine timing, sometimes it's this weird Hellbat thing, sometimes it's like a triple pronged aggression. It's just all slightly different, but it all makes sense on how he could do that with the build order that he chose. I don't think you need to worry about that too much, because focus on one thing at a time, and we're not Clem. I'm not Clem. I'm not going to do that either. So, if I thought it was really fun to do different variations in CVZ, then yeah. But I'm my ego prevents me from doing that. I want to win.
For sure.
That's a little bit unfortunate. Let me go back and see what like your first aggression was, because we got a little bit off track.
Yeah.
Okay.
There should be 2 medevacs coming out with stim, and then the Marines, then the Hellions kind of walk their way to the fourth and kind of push creeps back. Though courtesy of my opponent, he has already pushed his creep spread back against his fourth for me, so not too much to do with that move. Generally, that would be the game plan if you were like following the, you know, Clem by the book game plan.
Yeah. You haven't really done anything yet. It's almost 9 minutes, and you haven't actually had like a Marine drop on his side of the map. Yeah, it's not until 9 minutes that your first assault happens. And like, I think if you focus on the part of the build where you're supposed to have like 16 Marines and your Hellions around here at like 7 minutes a lot. I'm just curious, what does the Zerg have at 7 minutes?
I'm guessing
34 Zerglings, and it would have been against 6 Hellions and 16 Marines right now. If everything went correctly. Let's just say 16 Marines and 6 Hellions. And then you would have your 2 Banshees probably like around here. Or maybe like they're still lurking around up here. Maybe you're looking for drones in this base.
they could also just camp over the third.
Yeah, the only problem with this is that you can get stuck here a lot, so this isn't as likely of a spot.
I think he means his own.
I'm the turn third.
Yeah, that is an option. I think what I've been seeing Clem do a lot of is like he'll build one tank and he'll leave it like right there or like right here, and that frees him up to send the Hellions, the Marines, and the Banshee on the map.
Gotcha.
Which is it's pretty cool. That was a good reaction.
I feel like the Zerg is being so aggressive, it's motivating me to sit in my base for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like
Yeah.
to build any safety tanks?
Yeah, I think we spoke about that just a second ago, where I was saying like,
Yeah.
I'll see Clem build one tank sometimes, just because it enables him to be a little bit more aggressive with the Hellbats. And if you do
he'll
that,
even build 2.
what's up? Yeah,
He'll even
sometimes.
build 2.
Yeah, he'll even build 2 sometimes. And like that'll promote him being able to move the Banshees out more, be a little bit more aggressive with the Hellions. I think he feels a lot more breathing room to do Ling counters because of your Hellion aggression being a little bit lackluster. And I think that's again predicated by the early game build order mistake.
Yeah. Well, it's not just that, but I literally just don't have enough Hellions. There should be 2 extra Hellions at this point. Right now, it's only 4
Yes.
Hellions. I can tell you straight up, there should be 6 Hellions right now, but there isn't. So
Yeah, like if there's 6 Hellions right here right now, and then you just like bounce over here, and then you bounce over there, and then you bounce over here. You have 3 different angles your Hellions can like jump between. Yeah, you kill the tumor, and then you went to the middle of the map, and you just ran away. Like, that's a lot of pressure that you're losing.
Sure.
You should, when you practice this build, you can do it just like this. You can do your build order. I'll be doing it. Have your Hellions here. Peek up here, peek back, and then like shift your attack key here, and then shift right there. And now your Hellions are going to move from here to here to here. And within that time period where the Hellions are traveling from here to there, you can look back at your base, do your macro, look at the Hellions. When they get there, go up the ramp. Do it again.
All right. I'll definitely be practicing that.
That's a really good one to do just when you're practicing your build order, because it'll make you just be able to do the Hellion aggression while things are going on.
Yeah. I'm just yeah. I mean, yeah. A lot of the complaints have a similar flavor of you know, have more Hellions, have them be on the map, be more active.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
stuff I need to fix.
I don't know about this. I feel like you should really be building medevacs right now.
Yeah, it's very. Unfortunately, I do not have the tools to tell me when Clem starts building his medevacs, but I pretty
Well,
much guarantee you that it is not his first medevac at 7 minutes.
yeah, like definitely Clem would be right here with 2
The-
medevacs. Like the 2 medevacs would be done right now, and they'd be here, and he'd be with 6 Hellions and 60
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah. He would have 2 medevacs finished with 6-inch Marines and 6-inch Hellions, like scanning at around in front of Rander's fourth at about 650.
Yep.
I don't need that good macro to win the game, but I think I need better than this.
Depends how far you want to go. Better than this is relative.
In front of me.
This is actually a really good point. This is a really good like emotional thing to think about. You're saying better than this, but where does better than this end? Just emotionally. Like, I'm going to be honest, Chaz. I did better than this until I was GM and past GM. There was no end to better than this.
Yeah, that's fair. Really, I don't have a good sort of answer for you, but like
Nobody
sort of
does.
like yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, well, I would, I don't know what it's like to be there because I'm not there, like.
I mean, where'd you start in StarCraft? Did you start in bronze?
I think I started in like gold, platinum.
Gold?
Around.
And you're like getting close to high diamond now, yeah? You're like diamond 2, diamond 1?
Diamond 2.
So somewhere in that range. You're like mid diamond. Which is a completely different world than gold.
It's very much more pleasant.
Yeah.
I sort of have that like reaction where like the better I play, the better the game feels to me. So it could be a sort of like a thing where like if I were to like have the like more correct amount of units and be doing the like more correct move outs, like the game would feel a lot better, and I'd be like more motivated to, you know, do the oh yeah, but I should be better than this, like even if that's not like my goal right now, like I can't tell when that's going to stop, and I don't know, it doesn't bother me too much.
Yep, just keep that the cycle in mind. If it like keeps on happening as you play. Just like as a personal thing for you. Like you don't have to share this with anybody ever, but like just know that that's something that exists. Okay, seems like you never got into your Aethrax. It's very common that when you see lurkers that you want to add on. You want to add on Ghost.
This is sort of a reaction to me not playing Ghost really well. Is that I just got 4 factories.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a lot easier to siege units than use spellcasters. It didn't work as well as I was hoping because Vipers existed.
Yes.
I don't know what I was expecting, but this was a specific response that I was trying this game. I'm not. I don't really want to. I don't really want to say something like no, Jeffrey. This is the best response. And there's no, this is how you play DBZ.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Just know, like, the Vipers are gonna kill you. 9 times out of 10,
Yeah.
unless you just have like a big ass bio army too, and you're splitting your tanks really well all the time. I think the fight you took over here, you didn't have very many tanks. Like you're kind of running into like the syndrome where like you've been fighting all game mid game, but like you never really had a good timing per se.
Right.
And like there wasn't like a crazy good trade anywhere where you had an advantage. And now you're just like a little bit down in supply and you're still walking at him when his army's really good.
Yeah, well, like, I mean, I don't know how to like set up the places where the really good trades happen. Just
Yeah, I think a lot of that is happening just because of your build order execution.
that's a perfectly valid, suggestion.
Because like you're not attacking till 9 minutes, pretty much. Like,
I mean that's well, it's actually quite hard to fix, but it's relatively straightforward.
like by the time you get to his base, he's already almost to lurkers.
Sure.
I think if you kill that one Baneling, you actually probably win the game there.
Yeah. Just focus on a little harder.
Yeah.
I've been trying to do the like Rockstar just A move and watch as like and see whether that works or not. If the sort of like I have so much army that I don't have to look at what's happening, but it seems like there are some situations where I also don't realize that I'm being attacked until about halfway through that fight.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you were on vision right next to creep. So like, yeah, this is really unexpected and I don't expect you to react really well to it. But like you lose the fight here and then you just lose your next army as well. And at no point can this translate to I take a really sick tank engagement against lurkers. Like you're already like pretty doomed here.
It's yes.
Also, this guy is building 3 different upgrades at a time. He went armor melee, ranged attack.
Don't. One of the reasons why I'm sending this to you is because this guy is not your specimen of perfect Zerg gameplay. This is
Yes.
definitely should be winnable, and in fact, you notice that like you're saying things like this should not be winnable from this position, and yet the game lasts another 11 minutes.
Yeah. But the should is something that can be in your control.
Yeah.
That's the importance of it. I'm explaining that you have power in the game to do these things.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense. I appreciate that.
Okay. Yeah, you just don't have enough army here anymore.
Yeah.
So like already from this point in the game, like I would be thinking about like I should probably leave and I would start working on my build order again. Just the next game against him. Obviously I think this is a tournament, so it's probably not good sportsmanship. Or nah, it's probably fine to GA. I would GG out here. But if you as the player are saying I think there's a world in which I could win because my opponent's going to make really big mistakes, that is fine too. If I was a GM player in this situation playing against this player in a tournament setting, I could definitely see a world where I turtle and I put turrets up and I build ghost and tanks and I outplay him with micro. But beyond that, like in an actual standard game with two people that are playing very well, I don't see it.
Sure. There's something along the lines of I am staying in the game at least in part because I want to practice that part of the game. Yeah, I definitely agree that with the idea that I mean I saw the replay when being 50 supply behind. I was like, dang, how did this game last for so long?
Yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's kind of like what you're trying to do there is you're trying to like, it's like you want pizza, but the pizza that you're partaking in, you had to settle for the one without cheese. It's just tomato and bread. And what I mean by that is that you're going into late game, but the game's already over. So you never have a good outcome. And now you go to ATT and you say, I never win late game. Lurkers are broken.
I definitely don't say that.
You don't, but that happens. That is what that type of situation can culture that form of mentality.
That's fair. That's fair. But like, especially if I'm doing such a bum composition, then like it's be better than raging about that. But you know, I could definitely see where there's some danger there.
It's not even like I'm saying you rage in ATT. It doesn't even have to be an ATT. That the sake of the argument is saying that like it could be even just completely personal and in your own mind that you think something like that. I never win this situation. Lurkers are dumb. Like I say a million bad things in my head when I play StarCraft. I'm gonna watch Derek's replay, and then we'll go back to yours.
Sounds good.
Thanks. I'll check out the YouTube video later.
Yeah. See you later, buddy.
Really appreciate it.
Add reaction. Fuck. Sad. Now, what did Derek want to learn? Is the way I'm playing, quote unquote, fine. I opened 311 and kind of just sat at the top quadrant, follow ups, etc. 2, AFK'd my army in a bad spot and got fungled and died. Fried pork versus Derek Bow. Huh, I'm not getting good. Is music not enabled? Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, what? What's the button to enable music for me? Well, now it's here. It was very, like, desolate for a little while.
Oh, hey, I'm back in time. This is my replay.
Yeah, I actually skipped ahead. So we're ahead of schedule. We'll go back and watch the rest of Chaz's, but a couple of these first.
Let's just say I had an interesting game where, honestly, there's not. I don't feel like there's that much to look over for this game because I know why I lost, but I wanted to see if.
Imagine building a Reaper. Any Reaper builders?
Couldn't be me.
Sometimes the casual things like, oh, you should have focused fire the banling there, and then you win the fight. And then it's like, oh. I didn't think about that at all.
Well, I think something to think about is that there's a lot that I can analyze in the game that you're showing me. And there's a lot of small things that I can correct you on. But I don't want to correct a million small things when I'm ignoring the fact that you were just missing like 2 Hellions and Medevacs and you didn't attack for 3 minutes.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense, right?
Seems to be attacking a full 2 minutes ahead of me.
I mean, I also didn't play a 3cc build.
What happened? So you did your initial 2-on-1.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know you've already cleared all this stuff and you know that none of his bases are here. Like the only value that this has now is you can sometimes now check this base for a 4th. But once you see that there's nothing here, I think it's fine to check and like drop here and like sometimes you get value out of that, like that's fine. But like after that, your follow-up 2-on-1 aggression, which like it looks like this game you want to do the tank push, that's fine. But whatever you do, it's going down here or like right here.
Okay.
That's what it should do. That should be the next action. Because you know there's not a 4th base here right now.
Honestly, I thought he was eventually gonna take the 4th base, and then I kind of I was like, okay, I'm gonna go up here. But you're right. Like,
Even if
because
he does end up taking this as a 4th, it is nice to come here and just clear this out real quick.
Okay.
Because it kind of boxes him in, and it makes it feel really bad. Because you're ending up in a situation where he has creep on your side of the map at 7 minutes now.
Yeah.
I think you can siege tanks here, and siege his main. Something to think of.
Okay.
Alright, this seems normal enough. You deflect that. I think, yeah, I think you just walk at him with these Marines, to be honest. You have, how many?
I'll be honest, I didn't even know he had that run by there, because I didn't check.
Yeah, well, like, you saw it hit your 3rd, yeah?
Yeah.
So I think you can just walk up here and go to the tower.
Okay.
Because, like, you already have the tank here. Like, that keeps you safe, regardless of anything. You have a rally that's going to end up coming here. So, like, this next round of Marines, 7 Marines is going to pop out. And that'll deal with a run by. This will deal with a run by. And then this also potentially deals with a run by over here.
Okay.
So it's like a bit of zoning, something that you may not even know is there or not. You're kind of zoning in terms of like, I'm checking this base, and if there's a base here, I can pressure it. And if there's a base here, then I'm also pressuring this spot here. So like, if you did that move, it actually would have been like really good for you. Like, I think you can sometimes win the game off this move right here.
That makes sense.
Just because if you deny the 4th and you already have the tank push here, there's not a lot he can do to break that. Like, he may be able to break this, but like, this shouldn't be broken without a lot of cost. At least losing some banelings. I do think there's a world where you don't want your Marine spread here as well. Because the biggest thing when you have this little outpost, I'll call it, and you have all these Marines, is you more or less just want to trade the tanks for the banelings and then go into the medevac and then jump over here. That's usually what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to win the fight anymore. I think at first posting like that, like you did, is fine. If it's like, I do a timing and I'm trading out and I'm going to try to win. But right here, you don't play to win. You play to trade. Definitely should have your 4th base started. So, like, because you didn't take those actions earlier on, you can see how it's going against you now. Because now
Yeah.
this is set up, and then he also now has this. It also feels kind of bad because now it feels like you have to put these Liberators here. It feels so bad to just rally Liberators across all of their creep. I think you definitely like unsiege and go like zoom, zoom, zoom. Maybe siege it there.
Yeah.
He's been getting you a lot with changelings. If you focus fire that, you're a G.
I probably don't, knowing me.
I probably don't.
Just being honest. I know how I play. You're pretty rare.
Yeah, like literally getting 1 or 2 of those tank shots throughout the game, like this is a game changer. That 4th could have been a lot faster, and then that would also mean that your ARAX is a bit faster. So you just have a lot more Marauders right now.
Yeah.
Getting those Marauders fast is like almost like a way of like, it just makes your army better. It's scaling. It's like if Viger was good.
He was at some point in time.
Viger was broken in modern day League of Legends. Yeah, you're 2-2 stun. This is actually a game that I really feel the Widowmine vibe. Yeah, you start the sensor tower here. I think you already knew this was coming, so it's I think it's as simple as reposition. I think macro-wise, you could have just been thinking he's building Ultralisk and Ling Bane, and if I just have a bajillion Widowmines and I'm defensive with that, then I can probably do some good work against that. Because like, yeah, you hold this, but if your holding involves losing your base every time, it never feels too good. Obviously, scale is relative. If he's throwing away like a 10k army every time to kill a CC, that's also not very cash money of him. This fight goes well. I think focusing on approaching from this top side might be a little bit more efficient. Because now, like right now, he has this angle and this angle. And it makes things a little bit easier on him. Rather than if you're up here, like he has to kind of go from here alone. Or maybe from this backside, if he's being smart about it.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling he's just going to A-click. Yeah, a ton of, like, just a boatload of Widowmines and, like, two Liberators do some good work here. He did build Corruptors. It's good by him. Like, he's building a good army now. So you kind of also need good army. 73 workers. Honestly, this game is closer than I thought it was. Because it looked really bad for a while, but it's actually not too terrible now. Like, if you keep this 5th base alive, and you're a little bit defensive, like, right now you know he's kind of stuck on Lingbane Ultra with Infestor, and he has a few Corruptors.
Yeah.
So, as long as you have this 5th base up, you can actually kind of, like, pose up here, put another sensor tower, put a sensor tower, like, right here.
This is one of those maps that I feel like you can kind of just sit on your bases because there's not that many, right?
Yes, you can definitely do that.
It's kind of like Oxide.
Yep.
It's like there's not that many bases. The base that the last base you might not take, he can't really take, right? So
Yeah, I think the only thing to change here is, like, just sit a lot more Widowmine heavy than Ghost heavy here. Like, I would get rid of, like, 4 or 5 of these Ghosts and just replace all of them with Mines.
oh yeah, so
Because,
I
like,
think I zone out. So I think in about 10 seconds I zone out, and he just funnels his army and I die. That's why I said like I know why I lost.
yeah. Yeah, that's why I was
Zone.
saying, like, you definitely want to keep rebuilding the sensor towers. Because you had the right idea. Like, I think you had one here earlier and one over here earlier, but they died.
Yeah.
Definitely rebuild those. Because, like, having one right here, like, you get to see this whole spot here. And then the one right here will, like, have you see this whole spot. And then one right here-ish gives you, like, all of that. And then if you have control of this tower, you can, like, actually go as far as putting it right there. And then it's really obnoxious for Zerg. Because he can
Yep.
never get this.
About this game. Like, I know you're saying, ghost mine, but like, what if there's a lot of leftover lings for the mine hits? So you like, ghost just okay versus like a lot of lings, or what?
Well, you have bio too. Like, you're probably only going to have like 8 ghost in this game, to be honest.
Okay.
And then the rest is going to be bio and mines. Because the ghost are going to kill the Ultralisk and deal with and dispatch the infestors. But like, really, it's more or less he goes at you, you go back a little bit, and then if he starts like splitting off against mines, then you attack. And then if he doesn't do that, then he takes mine hits. Which we're at a net positive if we do that. So now you're more or less just trading his army away for your Widow Mines. Which tends to be pretty good. If he walks forward with just the Ultralisk, then you snipe them.
Right.
Okay. Fuck. Lucas Dart. Let us attack.
I've wanted to share a TVP replay, but like every TVP I have is either like really stupid or I won the game. Or it's like stupid as in like, oh, I didn't make the bunker in time. All right, I'm like analysis is done here. Like
Yep.
so I don't have any TVP replays because all the replays are really dumb or I won the game.
Yeah, I got to that point eventually as well with my replays where I was like, man, it'd be great if I could get Future to watch this. It'd be great if I get Special to watch this. And I'm like, this is a dog shit replay.
Yeah, but then you actually look at the replay and you're like, wait.
Yeah, like there's nothing to learn here.
Yeah.
I just probably had to do my build better.
I think it's weird to say, but it's like kind of easier to. I shouldn't say easier because that's a odd word to say, but like when you're newer to the game and you're still learning stuff, there's actually a lot of stuff to learn. Like you don't even know that you're doing things like wrong, right?
Yeah. There's
But then it gets to the point where you're like, in theory, it's like you have some idea of how the game should be played, even if it's not like the best way. It works for you, and then you're just making like mistakes. So the answer is like clean up your mistakes. Like it's pretty simple.
So if he pulls off of gas, I think he. Okay. So a lot of guys I'm noticing with this build.
You're like super quiet for me.
Yeah, Drift, I have you at 200 and I still can't hear you.
Can you hear me better now?
It's a
Slight.
little bit better, but not really.
Slightly. I'm literally swallowing my microphone.
Do you have a webcam by any chance that has their webcam mic on?
Potentially. Let me check.
Because occasionally that tends to be the case whenever I have friends that bump into this issue. But if it's not the case, then you just have a microphone that doesn't pick up sound very well. Could be the case.
Hmm.
Test.
This is a Lucas replay.
Yes.
Still can't hear me.
I mean,
It's about the
it's
same.
like better, but again, I have you at 200, so
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
No. Say it now. Like we can hear you.
Oh,
Pretty
okay.
okay.
I was just gonna comment on his build. Like, I when I watch a lot of recent people do this build, like Thermal covered it recently. As soon as you're at 50 gas, you pull off 2 workers, and
Uh-huh.
then it lets you get the fast 3 racks and also a bunker at a normal time. And you don't get the fast eBay, but you're still hitting like a stupid fast stim timing with a lot of mains and 2 marauders. You leave at like 4:30.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Just the build comment.
yeah, it doesn't. I mean, I did watch that video, and it's like, I mean, a +1 could be impactful, but I definitely don't. It's not something you visually see, I guess. And like something you do visually see is getting the bunker, right? So you don't die or bleed units. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's definitely making it safer for ladder.
Yeah,
I
like
think-
the
I think-
+1 stuff is.
There's a
I think it'd be
world-
fine if his opponent like went a depths or something, right?
I think it's
Getting a
fine. I
bunker.
think it's just fine on this map because you have this high ground.
Hmm.
Oh, this is an int. Oh, he just went for it. I mean, it's not
He's
bad.
actually getting such value.
Kind of.
It's okay.
He,
It's not
Protest
the worst
wasn't-
that happened.
yeah.
The worst thing that could happen is he doesn't kill a shield battery and he loses all his units.
I do suppose.
I don't know. I've seen that happen, dude. I remember playing. Man, this actually molded me. I was playing Magnath. I did a 3-racks build, right? And that scenario occurred, except I didn't dive on the shield battery because I'm like, you don't have a third. My job here is done, right?
Yep.
Like, and he was just like, why didn't you dive in? He's like, if you dived in, you could have killed all my stuff. And I'm like, dude, you have a shield battery, like, pretty deeply nested, right? It's not like I don't know, like with shield battery and overcharge, it's like you either make the decision to go, like, snipe the battery right away, or you just don't fight in. I don't know.
Let's watch Lucas's cam. Because I do need to look at this on a little bit closer builder-wise. There's not like a massive builder mistake that screams to me. Like, we can talk about how it seems like a little bit less safe because of the lack of bunker.
I mean, he's doing, like, the old 3-racks,
Yeah.
so... And, like, the early bunker, I guess, just wasn't, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, it just wasn't that common, like, in the earlier years of Legacy.
It's because core first wasn't a thing back then.
Was it bad, or did people just not figure it, like, do it
They
yet?
just didn't know.
Okay.
They didn't know how good their race was.
I mean, I remember they nerfed the depth build time at 3 seconds, and I was like, alright, I don't need to make a bunker that early anymore, and no, it's not the case, you still do. So I think in like 2018 they could like core first, and they harassed with the probe a little bit, and then the depth can get across and can't and like delay your CC, which is like super annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Command center up. Add-on.
Okay.
So who mined out the minerals? Was it the Protoss player?
Lucas did.
Upgrade.
Oh,
Research.
did he just wanted faster rust distance?
Just so his Reaper could go in. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, this just doesn't feel like a ton of units to me, for whatever reason.
I mean, he has the correct amount of Marauders, which is 2.
I don't know.
So didn't he just lose a bunch of Marines to the Stalkers like running in?
Yeah, I mean, he's lost.
But 6 units, right? 6
yeah,
Marines,
Yeah.
or like 5 Marines in an SCV. Like that's like 5 more Marines makes it like pretty normal looking, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm guessing he just got kited.
No, 2 of those units were probes. So it was 3 Marines that he lost.
Technically, you lost the Reaper too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't play 3 racks, so I don't know what it looks like.
Command center. Research.
I don't know. It just didn't feel like a lot of units for having
Yeah.
built 3
Add-on
barracks.
complete.
I mean, it is 5 minutes, but I feel like when I've like played around with it a little bit versus people that I know love Stargate, because I really love just having 16 Marines at their base at 420 or something, or 430, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really doomed. Yeah, I mean, I think the moral of the story here is you probably don't want to attack into them if they don't have a third.
Yeah.
That's honestly the moral here, I think. Like, and your Reaper can confirm that. Yeah.
Well, I've heard some. I remember who I was watching stream, bro, was saying like you should probably always get a tank if they're going Colossus tech with this build, like after you've started your timing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's also a world where it's like, I can see building the siege tank. Like that doesn't seem bad at all. Then it makes sense if they're playing Colossus. But I also think just having like the medevacs and the other massive ball of bio here makes it so that this isn't possible.
Yeah.
I think if you
I mean,
do
even
trade,
after all said and done, like his opponent doesn't have that much supply. Like,
yeah. I mean we can harp on his fight here a little bit. Like he does start off by losing all of his Marines. Like look at the volleys. Look at the volleys. 3 Colossus volleys, and they're all gone. Like he should have like been walking through his minerals with like half of this over here, and then the rest could have fought like where's an angle like this, and then he pulls the workers. If he comes to you with this army like this, definitely probably just control click, A click with those, and like lift the CC as well because he's gonna force field right here. But now you're definitely getting caught by that. I think you had seen his army out here a moment ago too, so you know he's pushing.
yeah, it's a pretty scary army.
But he doesn't have upgrades, so we're cool with it. He loses 1 more Marine, two units. Gets out. Yeah, just if you were spread out, like I think you actually A-click him. To be honest, like you actually did have enough units for that. It's just you lost 16 Marines and 3 Colossus volleys. I think we can probably also talk about Starport timing production. I like the version of this build a lot more, where you go. You're also missing a lot of workers. Have you? I think you lost 2 workers this game, but you definitely should have more than this. Like you're sitting at 11 out of 16 in your main. Yeah. Like this third base only seems like a good idea if you didn't commit your army here. Like if you're building this third base, it seems counterintuitive to me. Like if you save the units and you build the third, then that seems cool. But if you're planning on YOLOing most games, you probably just want to commit harder and just have faster medevacs and whatnot. So you can do that by getting a faster second guess. Because like the bottleneck you're having here is like you don't have the gas to build the factory and the starport in a timing in which it would use up the minerals that you used for the CC. Yeah, I think like you can just spread your bio better because you macroed better than this guy, or you can just not suicide your units. Suddenly he's on 88 probes. Oh, I didn't click the button. This guy turned the heat on. Alrighty. CV scout.
Command center has been upgraded.
Alright, seems pretty good so far. Oh, and you see the 2-gate. So, you know, you just gotta build a cyclone or a tank. I low-key kind of like cyclone more in this situation, but I do feel the tank vibe. The only reason why is, like, I feel like I'm gonna build this bunker anyways. And if he goes 2-gate into the proxy Stargate, then you're a little bit safer.
Makes sense.
I don't dislike going Raven here either. I support most of your builder decisions this game. He's being a bit of a shit with his stalkers. But this is totally fine. Like, you're definitely not in a bad spot yet. Right here, I would definitely not be sitting here with all my bio. I would be picking up and dropping right here.
Okay. Yeah, that's the move that I missed. Because he has nothing.
Because if you do that, like, you even went Raven this game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you lost it. That's actually really bad to lose. Because, like, the Raven, what makes it easier is, like, there's a very low chance there's ever an observer that sees you. Like, it goes from, like a 10% chance that sometimes you miss it with your eyes as, like, a high-level player to you never miss it.
Right.
So it just makes that drop play really consistent. And you know the stalkers are here anyway, so you can get by to the tower regardless. If you, like, just kind of dove in over here and saw this Nexus was still building and you kill a pylon and a couple probes and then back off, then
That's such a good spot.
it's like the type of spot where you just say, oh, he's just building gateway units and his third is really late, so he's low economy gateway. I'ma just wait a second. Because, like, your builder is good here too. Like, you're I guess you're a little bit low in supply, but I think that's, like, really minor mistakes where, like, if you just optimize what you're doing ever so slightly, you end up with, like, another 15 supply probably added on the top. But I don't think that's what wins you or loses you. Well, well, it could, but decisions could win this game too. I think the Raven here would have been goated. Is somebody sleeping?
What?
Derek. Are you fucking sleeping right now, buddy?
Huh? Sorry, I passed that for a second.
Are you sleeping right now?
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Oh my goodness. Somebody get this man in bed. It's his bedtime, 9 o'clock.
Yep, 9 o'clock sharp.
I'm gonna pretend that's water.
That's tea.
I'm gonna pretend that's tea.
You can pretend it's tea, and it's also tea.
I probably tunnel visioned on the attack way too hard.
Yeah,
I just didn't land my third.
definitely seems that way. It definitely seems like you want to be building Widow Mines this game. You should definitely, like, right here, there should be, like, a tech lab or a reactor on this or something. Like, I might even go as far as lifting up the starport right now and swapping, because you already have the medevacs and you need the mines. Like,
Yeah.
if you just have 6 mines with your army here, you just A-click this guy and go next.
Did you just
Yeah.
forget to make the reactor?
He did it
Or
as an
the
optimization.
pressure and the cheese, you know, and optimization.
I see.
This is already not my like. I've had to
Right.
adapt a lot this game.
I'll be honest, I probably passed out for the first part of the game, so I didn't realize you got
You
cheesed.
gated me into
I
like
see.
4-gate blink.
Okay.
I think the main thing Jahafe said was just like the Raven builds you can go out earlier with your bio medevacs versus like he can be at the front of my base with the stalkers, who cares? Like, I'm gonna kill his third. And to me that feels like that's just such a smart play. And I don't play Raven a lot, so that's probably why I didn't think about it. But
Yeah, I think Jaffe also told me once, it's like when you have a Raven, you can also just like rally like 16 Marines to the back of your base. And then the medevacs just go to the back of your base and they have no idea.
Yep.
Very cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
that feels like the play.
I also think there's probably. I think you should have more Marauders in this for sure. Wherever we were, like around here, like there should be more Marauders in this. Like you should have 5 by now. Like that's just usually what times out with the medevacs. So if you have like the 5 Marauders here, you just kind of you probably could have pushed him before the medevacs were at, and that was the other option. Because like he probably can't micro that. It's just probably not something he can do. I think what you can do. Let's go back. Way back. And just talk about like minor build order adjustments. So like I think you can leave like 4 Marines here. Tank over there.
Yeah.
You're queuing an extra Marine, you probably could have just put down a barracks instead. Yeah, like even right here, you can just build another barracks. Like you already have 10 Marines. You have non-stop build Marines, and he has shown no aggression.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's like a YouTube video on like 2-gate in PvT, because I feel like I've played against it a lot more recently.
I just think it's a degenerate thing that they just assume is.
I mean, yeah,
definitely not
but it's
good.
like, yeah, it's not good for sure. It's like you take your CC and you just land it a bit later and you're ahead, and I'm like, this can't be good, right? Like this has to be bad.
Yeah, I just think your CC or not your CC, your barracks can be a little bit quicker, and like you can see that putting the tech lab there is probably not good.
Yeah, normally my normal build has me build it kind of tucked further back, but you know, me playing this game versus cheese, it wasn't something I had thought about. It was just like get your stuff down, get your stuff down.
Yeah.
But not saying that I won't think about it in the future, because I definitely should.
I'm just theory crafting builds versus this. Like, I'm actually thinking like about if I scout 2-gate. Let's go back. This factory
How do you
finishes.
finish it?
What if I just do like the old I go Cyclone? Like I have this, but instead of building a starport here, I just build another barracks. And then a third barracks. And like the Cyclone's gonna finish, and then I'm gonna lift it up and build another tech lab, and then I have 3 barracks. And then I build a starport, eBay, and I'm just good to go. I'm golden. Because like he doesn't have tech because of what he did. I think it's probably safer to play Raven. Yeah, probably feels nicer. Because like at this MMR range, like so many people are just gonna do this, and they're gonna be like, I'm gonna get a DT shrine too.
Well, that's actually pretty common, which is why the Raven is a very good unit.
Yeah.
I've gotten really good at like holding it without, with some like of the adjustments features had me do, which just like walling off. Like it just.
I mean, the walling
So
off
good.
actually, it really does make sense for DTs. It's just that it feels really bad when they, do blink builds or whatever.
This is just a game that makes me sad because it's like victory is there. I just needed to think a little different than I normally do.
Yep.
And then as the game goes on, like I just cannot afford Ghost because I didn't get the gases fast enough.
Well, it appears you've already troubleshooted the problem. Oh, this one also hurts.
Yeah, that does hurt.
Now we're on that Protoss broken arc. Yeah, it was. You just saw it too late. Yeah, you're still only on 5.33 gases. Yeah, I don't know. If you just have Ghost and a lot of mines here, it's easy. But like a lot of mines, like so many mines there. Like in TVP and TVZ, mines are so busted. Like they really are.
They are, but then it's also like there are scenarios where you just stop building.
Did you fall asleep again, Derek?
I'm alive, don't worry.
That was so funny. That
We just
killing
heard
me
you
to hear
snoring,
your
buddy.
snore. It was great.
We should timestamp that in the VOD.
Yeah.
Derek sleeping session. Oh wait, wrong thing. Okay. I need to react. Fuck. Alrighty. How long is this VOD? It's about an hour and a half. I'm thinking maybe we just do like a peep mode or something.
Yeah.
I've watched most of the replays, so
Yeah, it feels like there are less replays this time. Probably.
there are. There's a couple more that I could watch, but last time I also realized that it might just be good to watch less replays and just leave some overflow for the next time.
Yeah.
And use this more so as a time to do a peep mode with people or play some games or something. Or buy Clem's or subscribe to Clem and watch a VOD of Clem playing.
Can we do that versus like a proxy void?
Versus a proxy void?
Oh, so something that I was talking to Chuck about this because I didn't realize this was a thing. But against Proxy Void Ray, I think Chuck was talking about how you can what's it called? Like you can just make a medevac and then lift 8 Marines and go across the map. Like that medevac is just
Mm-hmm. I think I've seen a few people do that type of stuff before. Definitely is. It's not terrible.
it makes sense.
I haven't.
I mean, it depends,
I don't
but
play
it makes
personally,
sense.
But
Yeah.
I think it can work.
It makes sense because it's like you get the Cyclone, your bunker at home. So you pull that piece to repair, you probably won't die right away. And the medevac goes across and he probably doesn't have anything at home. And then he's forced to recall his units. And if he recalls his units, then you're allowed to actually go down and like kill the shield batteries, right? It made sense to me.
Yeah. If we're gonna do, what sounds good? Do we want to do a peep mode thing, or do we want to just?
I'm a little bit deceased at the moment, so I probably won't be playing.
Yeah, I kind of got that vibe. We've got 5 other people.
Sorry, I'm back.
Welcome
I
back.
am literally unable to play StarCraft at the moment, so
Yeah, that's also true. Okay, so 2 of the 6 of us cannot play StarCraft currently.
Maybe back. What do you call it? Like hot seat?
Yeah, we could do something like that. That'd be fun. Drift, you're up.
All right.
Turn on
I
the
have-
stream.
Oh yeah. I have a theory.
A game theory?
About like if we get a patch or not. Let me start my stream. Okay. My theory is either November 11th when we get the new season, or whenever the new season is, we either get a patch then, or we'll never get a patch.
I mean, to be honest, I just think we're never going to get a patch. But
Well, I just heard so many of the pros saying like, "Oh yeah, Blizz contacted us." Like I don't know, it was like April for their ideas on balance.
What is Clem's stream name?
Yeast. What a name.
Oh, true. What's the matchup?
TVZ.
True. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Hellion Lib.
Hellion lived. He's feeling regular today.
If there's anyone who eats oatmeal for breakfast any morning, it's definitely me.
Yeah. Do you eat oatmeal every morning?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Fetch. Why you?
Get
Why
this
you
man
do-
some sausage gravy. Get this man some corned beef hash. Good. Oh. Free drone. Oh. Oh. Ah. Wait, you're natural?
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta bring your marine. Make sure you start your starport.
I think it's the game's just over. I lost so many SCVs. I mean, I could try in just like 2 days.
yeah. You can GG out here.
Okay.
Rewind though. So go to his base when your Reaper arrives. Well, like just look at it from like everyone view.
Okay.
And just hover over his base.
Like, it looks like the creep's kind of far, but the map's also big.
Yeah, that's kind of tough.
I don't know. I feel like if the creep has just started, doesn't that mean it's full first?
Yeah. Like if it just started, then it's pull first. That's visible on most maps. The way that I usually play on ladder is that I start the second marine, and then I cancel it once I have the gas.
Yeah, same.
I've done that. I did that, but
Did you
I thought it
cancel
was-
your second marine because you thought it was not? Okay.
It's like I got there and I saw this much, and I was like, oh, okay.
I want to see your Reaper rally. Yeah, here you are. So like everyone, I don't want to. I want to see where your Reapers rallied and stuff. So what I want to see is pause. What if look to the right of your main? I'm curious what the path is like if you use that Reaper jump spot. So go back to like 120 and just like resume from replay. Or you can go from right here, yeah, and then just like rally it from there. Your Reaper got there at 221.
Faster, maybe?
I don't know. I've been playing a lot more recently, and
Oh.
I think my skill's coming back. Just it was like weird to say, but it's like for a while when I came back, I was like a lot of my accounts were like 4,900.
Wait. Rewind.
It was 226.
Yeah, but I think you messed it up. You like lost like 3 seconds, like just moving in one spot. Like you didn't watch the Reaper. Like go back to like when you're going down the Reaper jump up. Like look at the Reaper jump up.
That's like the spot.
Hold on. I don't know if your Reaper did that though. Well, watch the Reaper. Okay, that's what it does.
Like I just
Can you go through the middle? Like
I can force it to you. Yeah.
huh. Okay, this map's
But, like,
really weird.
I just right click from this location. I just shifted over here. That's the path it went.
Yeah, the other path's just better then. I saw the Reaper going to the right, like farther, when I saw you doing it a second ago. So I was confused. Huh. Do we have any other willing participants?
Go, Jarek, go.
Derek is disposed at this current moment.
Oh.
I mean, I'm just
I can give you guys a clown show if you want.
Oh, please do.
Alright.
we're here.
As long as you're okay with streaming.
Show us the clowns. Oh God, I hope you don't have a replay of me and you because I play like a clown.
No, because I'm a bigger clown because I always lose to you.
Well,
How do I do this on Discord? Not really.
there should be a button above the voice connected. and it should let, or like below, it should say there's a
Oh
screen.
yeah, there it is.
Brrrr. There we go.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, check out that bonus pool. I definitely laddered a lot.
Bonus pool is really just the amount of games you've
The
played.
reflections on that Marine's helmet.
I feel when you know this person has a better PC than you, feels bad, man. I can see all the textures. They're beautiful.
I'm only on medium.
I know for me, I
I
have
never knew there was that many polygons in the whole galaxy.
my settings on medium because there's some Protoss things that I need to see. Like there's some options where I want to be able to see what a unit is when it's warping in. Like if your settings are too low, you can't tell if something's a zealot or an adept or something.
Yeah.
Or like sometimes like I think a nexus effect looks different, and then there's the power fields where the
Yeah, but also, isn't it easier to see invisible units on low?
um
That's what I've been
maybe
told.
I'm not really sure.
I
I
don't
know
think that's
I never
true.
really have issues seeing them. I don't have issues seeing.
I mean,
where the
originally when I
mines are.
first started playing StarCraft, I had a shit PC, so I set everything on low, and I just haven't changed it since.
That's what I did too. My computer was so bad I couldn't even play at 10 have my monitor be 1920 by 1080. I had to play at like 1080 by 720 or something.
Yeah, I think I have maybe like textures higher than they really need to be.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I might experiment with going lower because if I can raise my FPS, I'll get the drag scroll bug less, which is really annoying.
Yeah, I switched to using hybrid graphics a couple years back, and it's been nice. We have a TVZ on our hands. Mr. Blind is building a Reaper.
What's the MMR?
D2, I think.
D3.
D3, Diamond 3. Whew. These old eyes aren't working too well.
It's like 3.5. Is that a good guess?
Command center upgrade complete.
I don't know. Built your factory?
Insufficient Vespene gas.
No, I'm going for 3cc.
Oh.
Add-on complete.
Yeah, rip factory. I don't know what I was doing there. Whatever.
No, you're good.
Command center upgrade complete.
I don't think there's a point to build any Hellions, but
Landing zone.
You can build 2, and then you can just put down your barracks right now. Then just make sure you're building SCVs. That's all you got to do. It looks like your opponent's just gonna macro. I could be wrong, but just from the first couple looks. And then I'd lift up the factory and then build a reactor. Well, leave the barracks on the tech lab. Just build a reactor with the factory. And then your starport can build like a Viking or something. Well, you want to build stim right now, right? Not like
Okay,
a...
I was gonna go Banshees, but I guess it's too late for that.
Yeah, it's just you can't do it when you do your build like this. You're kind of forced to go one thing or the other. Make sure you're mining out of the gas in your main. And then you can put down a couple eBays. Build SCVs. Good, good, good. Make sure you started a reactor in your main on the barracks.
Add-on complete.
Start a reactor on your starport. Just no matter what, make sure you're building SCVs. Oh, there's a free overlord. Beautiful. That's what we like to see.
Not enough minerals.
Make sure you build reactors on your barracks. Oh, we see that it's roaches. So you can go tank. Good.
Unacceptable abandoned zone. Add-on.
You don't need that barracks. You can just swap one over. And then just build marines.
Additional supply depot. Not enough minerals.
Depots.
Add-on complete. Not enough minerals.
You're gonna have to set your rally to the top depot in your natural, because that bottom depot your tanks can't get through.
Why do people set their rally to a depot? Like, why not the ground?
Because that feels wrong emotionally.
Also,
I-
if the depot dies, the rally resets.
Not enough minerals.
I'm gonna be honest. I think a lot of it has to do with where if you click it to that depot, it's going to the depot, and then secondly, when you click the depot, it just like it just looks nice. Like the little circle around the depot flashes, and it feels good to click on. That probably made 0 sense, but that's how it is for me, man. It just feels good. I get serotonin clicking the depot.
Yeah. I mean, I saw innovation click it to a depot, and then I've been doing it to a depot ever since. I'm sure there are better ways to do it. Maybe. I would be open to it.
Good, 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 good. Just like start filling up your queue in your barracks. Yep, that's all you gotta do. Just make sure you're macroing. As long as you do that, you're gonna frag. Or, I mean, kill this guy. I mean, destroy him. I mean, make him regret it. You've got a few idle workers. Good. Make sure you keep building SCVs and, or I mean, depots. Keep building marines and tanks and whatnot. That drop can stay down there. Oh, yes, that's good, good, good. That's good. Just keep macroing. That's all you gotta do. You already won that fight. Beautiful. Yeah. Start combat shield.
I think it's going.
Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. I didn't realize. Just keep that single drop alive, if possible.
Mineral field insufficient.
start a couple more barracks, like 3. You want to end up with 8. Then just build Marines. I would get your big army together and then push towards the. You see where the creep is on the right side, like that base that's like diagonal of the third you were dropping, where your medevac is right now. Yeah, around there's fine. Yeah, like just go there with your big army, or look for like a 4th base, if you can scan like that corner, like the one next to his main. That's a good base to scan, because you want to see where his base is at, and you want to attack that one. Maybe the other one on the left. Well, there's one on the right for sure. We can whack-a-mole that. And then there's like one more that's a little bit closer that you haven't checked. Just make sure you're macroing. That's all you gotta do. Yep. Attack the bottom side. Go with your tanks. Well, like, you can just go from the bottom right there. Yeah. Like, bring your bio down there, too. Because you can attack the 3rd from the other spot.
Oh,
So take a second and slow down here. And look back at your base. Look for idle workers. And then move them to your 4th. Make sure you're mining off of your 3rd base and gas. Make sure you're mining gas at your 3rd. Like, you can lose this army. Like, that's fine. You're macroing. Just make sure you're macroing. Build Marines and Marauders. Good. That's all that matters.
my gas.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, you have a good one.
Oh no,
That's okay. You're macroing.
Brood Lords.
It's wild. So, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So I would keep building medevacs. You can start like a couple Thors, and then you probably want to have like mostly Marine. So like diagonal of his main, there's like a base there that you haven't checked. It's like the only base you haven't checked.
Fun?
Yeah, the one you're looking at right now.
Okay,
Yeah,
there's like
that's-
nothing there.
Yeah, so he's got gas there. So versus Broodlords, they're really slow, but your bio is really fast. So
Right.
if you have one drop on one side and then another drop on the other, it's hard for him to keep up.
Right.
So try to do
I
that
have no
too.
medevacs with this. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, like you can still keep this army on the left side and then have like the rest of your army go to the right side.
True.
Like that's okay.
Well, that's a lot. Fucking.
Yeah, I mean that's most of his army. If you just walk up to that base on the left side, you probably just go kill it then. I wouldn't be too formal about it. Just run at him. Like literally just right click the hatch. And just make sure you keep macroing. You can start building Vikings too. You got that extra port, beautiful. Good job remembering that. And you can load up your bio into these medevacs here,
I was gonna, yeah.
and then go into his main. That's a little unfortunate, but that's fine. You do want to get rid of some of your units here, so it's fine. Because you want it in favor of getting more Vikings and Marines and Thors. Make sure you start through 3. Get cloak. Make sure you start your planetary. You can build a couple extra barracks if you want. Scan that army. You want to scan and
shit.
try to find the broodlords. They're somewhere around there.
Right there.
That's
Oh
really bad.
man.
Turn the Thor into the other mode. Don't fight this. You have nothing that shoots up, really. Remember, you always have an option to just run away from this. Like, this just isn't your problem right now. Keep building Vikings and Marines. Like, the only unit that should be building on your barracks is Marines. And you can queue it all the way. You have enough money for that. Your opponent sadly does not have that much money.
Mineral field depleted.
Right click the broodlords. You can use snipes now on the corruptors. Nice job. Just keep building Marines and units and medevacs and expand. You can build like a CC on location somewhere. And then I'd probably just F2 somewhere towards his base. Make sure you can keep building units. You're supply blocked.
I'm maxed. Oh, I'm dead. I don't have fucking.
Yeah, he killed the wall at your third.
You got
that's
my
why.
wall. Yeah.
That's okay. Just keep macroing. You can even start scanning all around him, seeing where his units are, and you can respond to them better if you do that.
Add-on complete.
You can kill that fourth base to the left again. Oh, nice Widow Mine. Siege the tanks. You can even land the Vikings for style. Beautiful. Nice job. I think you got him. And like from here, I find it very satisfying to just put CCs on location at all of the bases, so that when he checks the replays, he feels really bad.
Mineral field depleted.
Yep. Thank you.
Mineral field depleted.
Oh, and you're dropping. You're so fast. What a talent.
Command center upgrade. Mineral field depleted.
He's trying to inject. He wants to hold. Ah, but he's just barely not gonna do it. The Terran forces are too strong. 감사합니다. Yeah, come and fight me. Big Thor moment. GG.
Wow, that was a rough start. Somehow pulled it around.
Yep. You just had more money. Money is the solution to all problems.
I should have rewinded. But whatever.
Yep.
That was a freebie though. TVZ is my best matchup.
Oh yeah.
P2? No way. I don't believe it.
Honestly, that seems like a half decent place to leave it for tonight. We went for a couple hours. I'll probably end the recording here.